How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Up North Live. My name is Jeff Up North. Joining me, as always, is Isaac 556 by 45. How you doing, Isaac?
Doing well. Happy to be here. Been a
Yeah,
busy couple weeks, but we had a good Halloween on Drink Up. It was a pleasure to be with you guys on there as well. So happy to be back here. Talk some history, and today we're going to be talking some asteroids, meteors, and comets. So that'll be
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, no, and it was, and once again, thank you for joining us on Drink Up last week. That was a lot
Thank
of
you for
fun.
having me.
Yeah, no, if you haven't watched it or you don't know, me and my buddies, we do a Friday show on a different channel, the Drink Up. Just pop culture news, stuff like that. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. Tonight we're talking about meteors. Yeah, as I said, meteors, asteroids, and comets. And figured this would be a good topic to talk about right now, especially with all the buzz around Three Eye Atlas, the interstellar, excuse me, object coming through our atmosphere, our solar system right now. So figured it's something that I've always been interested in, just like a lot of things. And I remember when Isaac and I first started doing this show, we decided we want to not just paint ourselves in a corner with the only ancient history and stuff like that. So we wanted to be able to hit all topics all the way around. So
Yeah, all sorts of fascinating schools of thought, different fascinating, just cool stuff. Whether it be history or like today, astrological events. It's kind of cool.
exactly, yeah. And meteor and asteroid impacts have literally shaped our Earth many different ways, and they're still
Yep.
affecting us in ways today. Between smaller impacts, luckily, or possibly could come out of nowhere. Could be even with Three Eye Atlas, if it's not an alien spaceship, the big one, extinction level events. So you just never know. And that's one of those things that actually you start to think about. It kind of makes you feel uneasy knowing that it's any moment we could just get smoked.
And the thing to think about too is even if it's not mass extinction, it could cause mass migration,
Yep.
immediately, quickly. An entire continent could have 3 weeks warning. Oh, you guys got to move across the face of the globe. It could upset everything, internationally. So,
Oh, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. But first, we'll see. You got a few people in the chat here. We got Birdie, 1965. Thanks for joining. Just another dirty Youper. What up, brother? Yeah, M can't be a U fan. Hello. Hello, my Canadian fellow namesake. Hello, my Irish Southern namesake. Yep. So
good to see everybody in chat.
yeah, thanks for joining us. And as people start coming in too, thanks for joining. So I wanted to start the show with what the difference between asteroids, comets, and meteors are. Because I mean, if you there's very they're all different. They're all rocks flying through space, but they all have their own makeup and trajectories. So let's zoom that in a little more. That's a little bit. Okay, what is the difference between asteroids, comets, and meteors? We asked the NASA scientist. Okay, let's see. What is the difference between these space rocks? Each have, I can read off the front page here, their own unique attributes. But differences aside, these fascinating objects are all worthy of study. Just ask NASA JPL scientist Ryan Park, and he'll agree. Well, they're all planetary objects orbiting the sun. An asteroid is a small rocky object, and when seen in a telescope, it appears as a point of light. Most asteroids are found in a ring between the orbit of Jupiter, or Mars and Jupiter, called the asteroid belt. Sorry, apologize, folks. Some asteroids are round, some are elongated, and some even have a satellite. A comet also orbits the sun. A comet also orbits the sun, but unlike an asteroid, it is composed of ice and dust. So when a comet gets close to the sun, its ice and dust content start to vaporize. So when seen in a telescope, a comet appears fuzzy or has a tail, and that's
That
what.
makes sense.
Yep, and that's what Three Eye Atlas, interstellar object Three Eye Atlas is presumed to be. But there's a lot of talk about alien spaceships and how it's changing colors and sending sound waves towards Earth. I don't know if you saw anything about that.
Yeah, people were saying it almost resembles like a transmission of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
communication, or is it just natural, what do you call it, interference? Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, I don't know, but we'll get into that a little bit later, like you said. So, what is a meteor? Well, let's start with a meteoroid. A meteoroid is a small piece of an asteroid or a comet, typically pebble-sized, but it could be a little smaller or a little larger, often created from a collision. When a meteoroid gets close to Earth and enters the Earth's atmosphere, it is called a meteor. And a meteor enters the Earth's atmosphere at a very high speed, so it burns up and produces a streak of light called a shooting star. So if you've seen a shooting star, you likely saw a meteor. And if a meteor survives the burn and lands on the ground, it is called a meteorite.
Very cool definitions. I didn't know the exact definition of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, they're all floating around us, but they're a little bit different. So yeah, like he says right here. So what's the difference between asteroids, comets, and meteors? Well, asteroids are rocky, comets are icy, and meteors are much smaller and are shooting stars you see up in the sky. So yeah,
And when you think of it too, that's it's like a bullet raining down. So I mean,
pretty
it makes
much.
you really think. You don't want to be on the receiving end of an impact of that whatsoever.
No, actually, it reminds me of I think I was reading an article not too long ago of one of the very few, if not only, humans that have been struck by a meteor. You're right. This woman was like watching TV, sitting on her couch, and it blasted through her ceiling, like hit the wall or hit the couch and smoked at her in the leg, and she had a big, huge bruise and bumps and stuff. But
Was that the one in Alabama, like way back in the day?
it might have been, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Just imagine that you're sitting on your couch, minding your own business, and boom, oh, it's
It'd be
pretty
quite a wake up
crazy.
call. Yeah,
My first thought would honestly be, would it be some sort of plane debris? Something that broke off a plane or
right.
something like that. But
Yeah. That- until you see a rock sitting there smoking on the ground.
I know.
Yeah. So actually, there was another video a few months back where I think it was a ring doorbell caught a meteorite hitting the house or hitting the driveway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's helpful for the insurance claim. That's for sure. Having actual footage of that. Well, how'd your front of your house get smashed in? Well, it was a meteor. You have proof? In fact, I do. Yes, I do. Here you go.
Yeah. So you're saying the kids down the street didn't throw a rock through your window or your lawnmower? No, dude, space.
No, it's an act of God. What can I say?
Right? As we were talking about that, we had Debbie hop in. Hey, Debbie. Good day. Good to see
Hell,
you. We had Karen M. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
good to see you.
And Graybush, thank you very much for not making jokes.
Keeping it
That's for,
classy.
that's for Friday. That's for tomorrow. Yeah. So I have everything kind of lined up here. I figured we'd start 66 million years ago to the alleged asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Do you know anything about Chicxulub, the asteroid, the Yucatan Peninsula around Mexico?
That's not up my wheelhouse as much.
Okay. So yeah, actually the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America. Remember that.
Actually, I'll just pull it up right here before we do that. So this through here is what they figure the impact crater that killed the dinosaurs.
Wow.
Now imagine a rock that made that.
I mean, yeah, I can see it.
Mhm.
Like it's like a massive ice cream scoop from space. Just came out and chunked out a big portion.
Right?
Galactus came down and ate half of Mexico.
It's just like, yeah, it's like, okay, you're all gonna disappear now. Hey, Mike. Morning to you.
Not even gonna attempt to say hello in Chinese. Not even gonna attempt it.
Good choice. We'd probably get in trouble for that. Okay, well, we know the origins of the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. New evidence points to a Carbaceous. This is last year, so it's nothing new. It's just kind of just going to a broad overview of the topic. But new evidence points to carbonaceous asteroid from the outer solar system as a culprit for Earth's most recent mass extinction. It's not the most recent mass extinction. 66 million years ago, Earth had a bad day. A mountain-sized impactor fell out of the sky at kilometers per second speed, slamming into the shallow sea off of what is now Mexico's portion of the Yucatan Peninsula. The impact released as much energy as 100 million nuclear bombs, gouging a 200-kilometer wide, 20-kilometer deep scar in the Earth's crust and unleashing monstrous earthquakes, tsunamis, and firestorms. Global temperatures plunged and food chains collapsed as the planet smothering plumes of smoke and vaporized rock blotted out the sun, driving more than half of then extant species, including the dinosaurs, to extinction. The scattered survivors that arose from the ashes included our mammalian ancestors, setting the stage for a new era of life on Earth. Any thoughts this far?
Well, what really kind of caught my eye was up where it said multi-kilometer speed per second. We
Mhm.
measure bullet velocity in feet per second. How many feet is it going? You're talking kilometers per second. That is
Yeah,
trucking
that's
from
definitely cooking.
at the size of a mountain too. That is unimaginable amount of energy being delivered. Where they say what was it, 100 million nuclear bombs approximate. I mean,
Yep, that's
can't
that's
comprehend
big.
it.
No, not a chance. I mean, it killed off the Earth basically. So pretty much what that planet killer or at least extinction level
And
event
talking about
is.
the debris kick up,
Mhm.
lowering the temperature, all that, so many
Yep.
aspects.
Oh, and I think I was watching a documentary one time, and they're talking about the impact, and when it hit with such massive velocity and impact that the other side of the Earth like bulged out, and like lava and volcanoes and rock.
Wow.
It's just that much impact. It reverberated through the Earth all the way through the other side,
Wow.
and then
I
you
can
have the
imagine. Yeah.
rebound.
Yeah.
So,
So boom, and then it travels back the other way. Yeah.
yep, you caught a live one. Welcome in. Good to see you there, Irish Schneider. It's been a while. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a little bit. Welcome, welcome. All right, to continue. This planetary cataclysm remained shrouded in mystery until one of those survivors' distant descendants, physicist Walter Alvarez, pieced together its outline in the 70s and 80s. Alvarez and his colleagues discovered a layer of debris laid down in 66 million-year-old rocks around the world that was curiously enriched with elements such as iridium, which is vanishingly rare in Earth's crust but abundant in asteroids and comets. They eventually linked the layer's origin to dinosaur-killing impact and is now submerged giant scar, a site called Chicxulub, which Alvarez dubbed the Crater of Doom. But for decades, scientists have debated finer details. Was the impactor an asteroid instead of a comet? And if so, what type? Where in the vastness of space had it come from? And could the telltale iridium and global mass extinction alike have been somehow homebrewed, arising not from the impact, but rather from immense volcanic eruptions that spewed rare element-laced magma from reservoirs in the Earth's mantle? Interesting.
It is
Now,
interesting.
from what I'm gathering, is they're thinking that it was not. Maybe it wasn't. Okay. Yeah. They think maybe it was an eruption. That's rather interesting.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. And kind of what jogs my mind too is what you talk about, in your neck of the woods,
Hmm.
with the smelted copper essentially on the surface. Is
Oh,
there
yeah,
any
yeah. Float copper.
Yeah, flow copper. Is there any
Mhm.
other geological signs in that area, of it could have been more home brewed volcanic activity signs? There's ways of diagnosing that for sure.
Oh, definitely. It's just I don't know how down there. I don't know. I'm
No,
still thinking it's a asteroid or comet, but if we finger, maybe we'll find out.
never know.
Magma. All right. A study published in Science on August 15th now offers the most definitive answers yet, charting epochal events' deep origins through the extremely precise measurements of isotopes of ruthenium found in its debris. The work conclusively shows that, like iridium and other rare elements in Alvarez's layer, this ruthenium did not come from volcanism, but rather originated from a clearly extraterrestrial source. And subtle variations in abundance between the isotopes strongly suggest that Chicxulub impactor that delivered it wasn't a comet or a run-of-the-mill giant space rock. It was conspicuously carbonaceous asteroid, rich in carbon and organic compounds. That's interesting that it's rich in organic compounds.
Yeah, organic. Obviously carbon. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
given. But organic. I would love to know more what they meant by what types of
Right.
organic. Do we have any cell structure type of analysis where, is it any sort of living organics? Not living, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah. I mean, all life forms are carbon based for the most part, are they not?
Right.
I believe. So
Hmm.
maybe part of another planet that exploded somewhere and sent pieces flying. You never. I
I
always.
mean, it could even just mean as simple as bacteria, even, and
Mhm.
who knows,
I don't know. Let's continue on and see what we can figure out. Let's see. I find these results very convincing, says Steve Desch, an astrophysicist at Arizona State University who was not involved in the work. They dovetail nicely with a lot of other evidence. That evidence includes earlier measurements of other isotopes of minerals in Alvarez's layer, as well as geochemical studies of a handful of pristine shards of the shattered impactor that scientists have managed to recover intact from ancient sediments and fossils. That was a sentence.
that's
Balance.
quite a wordy sentence right there. Yeah,
It was.
I got to say, you didn't stumble once though. You went right through it.
Yeah. I was happy with myself on that one. All right. Let's see. On balance, Desch says the available evidences suggest the impactor probably wasn't a comet, but absolute certainty would require more detailed isotopic studies of sizable amounts of pristine cometary material, which researchers have not yet obtained. The new paper's interpretation is not new, says geochemist Richard J. Walker of the University of Maryland, who is unaffiliated with the work, chiefly referring to a 1998 study that's reached similar conclusions based on analyzing an isotope of chromium. Where this study presents a much more ironclad determination that the Chicxulub impactor was a carbonaceous asteroid. So yeah, I'm saying a carbonaceous impactor or
Carbonaceous
carbonaceous
asteroid.
asteroid. Yeah, that's pretty
Very
interesting.
cool.
There's more, but that's basically that's a long, really, really long, but
I've
you
never
get kind
seen
of hit
what
the nail.
Idaho Mike is referencing. What is the Far Side's cartoon about how the dinosaurs died? I've never seen that.
Sounds familiar, but I can't think of it.
It sounds a little familiar. It's not ringing a bell with me. Hmm.
Sudbury impact. If I had to bet, that's Canada. One of the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
Can't say I recall that either. Is that in the Rockies or
Sudbury
further
Basin,
east?
1.85 billion years ago was down. Oh, wow, okay.
He's saying in Ontario.
Yep. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it.
Nickel-rich meteorite. Okay.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I suppose I haven't really heard of the Sudbury one, Sudbury impact. Oh, darn it! But we're gonna. Okay, I'll pull this up quick. Rip through it quickly. All right, Sudbury impact refers to a massive meteorite impact that occurred approximately 1.85 billion years ago in what is now Ontario, Canada. This event created one of the largest known impact structures on Earth, with original diameter estimated between 200 and 250 kilometers. What's that in freedom units?
Let me see. 250. Let's
It's
find
got to be
out.
close to 125 or so. The impactor is believed to have been a large body, possibly 10 to 16 kilometers in diameter, which struck the Nuna supercontinent during the Paleoproterozoic era. Huh, that's pretty cool.
200 kilometers is 124 freedom miles.
Oh, it was
So,
1 mile off.
yep. 124.2 actually, but
Okay, nice. Yeah, saying the region having produced over $100 billion worth of metal since the late 19th century. Wow,
wait, how much?
$100 billion worth of metal.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. Well, hey, thanks for the yeah, thanks for
I
that
mean,
little
nickel
little.
is pretty valuable. It's we almost like we make a coin out of it or something.
I was gonna say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, Far Side cartoon. Dinosaurs are smoking cigarettes.
Maybe that's what's killed them. You know,
That's actually funny. Okay.
I mean, I was always told what killed the dinosaurs was the Ice Age. That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger told me as a kid. And
What was that from? Yeah, no. Well, I mean, maybe. There's so many different theories, but okay. Next up, we're gonna jump forward a few million years to 12,800 years ago, which is the Younger Dryas. And the theory around the Younger Dryas impact event is that a large meteor or asteroid or multiple asteroids or meteors airburst over the area or impacted the ice sheets over Greenland, which basically super melted the glaciers. And then because it punched a hole in the atmosphere, it got cold, and the ejecta shot into the atmosphere as well, um, blacking out the sun for a long period of time, and the ice age started back up again.
wow.
Yeah, that's the brief overview of that. But new underwater evidence may support controversial idea that a comet exploded and changed the Earth 12,800 years ago. And this is just a couple months ago they released this. All right. Australian and international scientists have found new evidence that may support a controversial idea that a comet exploded over Earth around 12,800 years ago. The controversial Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis, YDIH, which was featured in the Netflix series Ancient Apocalypse, Graham Hancock's show, is based on the idea that a comet exploded over Earth and triggered a period of abrupt climate cooling and species extinctions. But the idea is widely debated and is more generally accepted that the cooling was caused by glacial meltwater. The researchers say they have found evidence of this impact in the deep marine sediments from Baffin Bay off the coast of Greenland. Let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Ocean sediments might support theory that comet impact triggered the Younger Dryas cool-off. Analysis of ocean sediments has surfaced geochemical clues in line with the possibility that an encounter with a disintegrating comet 12,800 years ago in the northern hemisphere triggered a rapid cooling of Earth's air and ocean. Christopher Moore of the University of South Carolina, United States, and colleagues present these findings in the open access journal PLOS 1 on August 6, 2025. During the abrupt cool-off, the Younger Dryas event, temperatures dropped about 10 degrees Celsius in a year or less, with greater cooler temperatures lasting about 1,200 years. Can you imagine?
That's significant. A 10 degree Celsius drop off.
Yep.
You talk about a 1 or 2 degree fluctuation either way can totally change the environment of things, but to experience a 10-degree variation like that,
Yeah, and right now our world governments are worried about a 1 to 2 degree Celsius change when this happened basically
allegedly, yeah.
allegedly, yeah, when this happened immediately, and it could happen again. Like I said, giant rocks flying through space around us as we're flying through space.
Sometimes things make contact, it happens.
And it's inevitable, unfortunately. It's just a matter of when and where.
Think of it kind of like playing pinball a little bit, It's just you pull the thing back, it goes, it goes flying, and then bing, 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 hitting off the bells and stuff.
Yep.
Just sometimes you can slip through without making any contact, but sometimes it bounces,
Okay. We're good. Yeah, no, it's whoa. Went way too far. All right, where did I lose myself? There we go. And temperatures lasting 1,200 years. Many researchers believe that no comet was involved and that glacial meltwater caused the freshening of the Atlantic Ocean, significantly weakening currents that transport warm tropical water northward. In contrast, the Younger Dryas impact, the YDIH posits that Earth passed through debris from a disintegrating comet with numerous impacts and shockwaves destabilizing ice sheets and causing massive meltwater flooding that shut down key ocean currents. However, the impact hypothesis has been less less well supported, lacking any evidence from ocean sediments. To address that gap, Moore and the colleagues analyzed a geochemistry of forest seafloor cores from Baffin Bay near Greenland. Radiocarbon dating suggests the cores include sediments deposited when the Younger Dryas event began. To study them, the researchers used several techniques, including scanning electron can't talk today.
Yeah, that's a
Microscopy.
difficult word. Yeah.
Microscopy. That doesn't sound right.
So that's just using an electron microscope procedure,
Yep.
basically. Yeah. Why can't they say that? You know,
Because it's a scientific
including
paper.
using an electron microscope.
Mhm.
I get it.
So if that word comes up again, I'm going to just say microscopy.
Yes,
Single
microscopy.
single particle in inductively coupled plasma time of flight mass spectrometry, energy dispersive spectroscopy, and laser ablation inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry. Let's have Beardo read that sentence, please.
Yes, I was just gonna say on Geeks and Gamers, can we send this sentence to Beardo in a super chat, please? I need to copy and paste that onto a super chat.
I will
Please
send you the link afterwards.
do that. Yes,
It's
I will
up to you,
send that
bro.
in a $5 super chat. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Get these quick. Exactly, yeah. I mean,
Very
what's the
great
first
point.
thing you do?
With the oceans rising, you buy a mansion 3 inches from the water line. Makes sense. I'd do it. Just got
I
to have
mean,
good insurance, I guess.
why not? Yeah, that's the thing too. Even like on the East Coast and now in Florida and stuff like that, a hurricane's gonna wipe out your house probably once or twice a decade. Can't
More
imagine
than
paying that
likely,
insurance.
yes.
All right. The analysis detected metallic debris whose geochemistry is consistent with comet dust. These occurred alongside microscopic spherical particles whose composition indicates a mostly terrestrial origin, with some materials believed to be extraterrestrial, suggesting these microspherules could have formed when a comet fragments exploded just above or upon hitting the ground, melting materials together. The analysis is also uncovered even smaller nanoparticles with high levels of platinum, iridium, nickel, and cobalt, which can be signs of extraterrestrial origin. So yeah, these microspherules, those are commonly found around impact craters or any airburst sites and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep.
What's that referring to exactly? Microspherules.
They're basically like really microscopic spheres of crystals, basically. If,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking like a
minerals.
small, like beating up from heat, basically. Yeah.
Yep, yep. No, and I first learned a lot of this stuff watching Randall Carlson's videos. So that's definitely got me a lot more interested in it now that I understand a little bit more.
I think they search for that type of evidence definitely when looking for the location of Sodom and Gomorrah and stuff. A lot of
Hmm.
excavation sites, yeah, that type of stuff. Just intense heat on making connection with Terra, basically. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, pretty cool. And it's cool that we have the technology to see that small, so we can find that type of stuff out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the technology nowadays, including like maps, we have LiDAR, we have Google Earth, other
Yep,
satellite imaging. People literally just cruise around Google Earth and look for spots that look like they could be impact craters. And
yep.
they try to go there if they're near enough, or they just try to find someone that knows anything about it. So it's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
you can learn so much more at home sitting on your computer than people who dedicated and lives worth of research just 100 years ago.
Hmm.
It's incredible.
No, what a time to be alive. Also comes with its downfalls.
Yes, it does. Yeah, makes things more complicated too.
It really does. All right. Where were we? Together, these findings indicate a geochemical anomaly occurring around where the Younger Dryas event began. However, they do not provide direct evidence supporting the impact hypothesis. More research is needed to confirm whether these findings are indeed evidence of impact and firmly link an impact to climate cooling. Dr. Christopher R. Moore adds, our identification of a Younger Dryas impact layer in deep marine sediments underscores the potential of oceanic records to broaden our understanding of this event and its geoclimatological impacts. Dr. Mohammed Balushi, I know that was wrong, adds, it's great to implement our unique nano-analytical tools in a new area of study, namely the analysis of nanoparticles generated or transported to Baffin Bay core site during the Younger Dryas. We are always happy to implement our tools to support our colleagues and explore new frontiers. And I think this is the last one right here. Dr. Vladimir Selmovich adds, collisions of the Earth with comets led to catastrophes leading to climate change, to the death of civilizations. One of these events was a catastrophe that occurred 12,800 years ago. Having studied in detail the microscopic traces of this disaster in Baffin Bay, we were able to find multiple traces of cometary matter, which was identified by the morphology and composition of the microparticles found. The amount of comet dust in the atmosphere was enough to cause short-term impact winter, followed by a 1,400-year cooling period. These results obtained confirm the hypothesis that Earth collided with a large comet about 12,800 years ago.
Wow, 1,400-year cooling period. Damn.
Yep. But with a probably 1 year immediate cool down,
Yeah.
These are microspherules.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron, chromium, iron, silica, iron.
It's just like microscopic slag, basically, kind of.
Mm-hmm. You have
Yeah.
native iron right here. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Those are some good images right there too.
There's I gotta try to find it sometime, but there's a picture. There's like I know Randall Carlson would show it on his show, and there's like 50 different pictures of like microspherules.
Oh, cool.
They're pretty cool looking, yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Isaac? Do you think that's what caused the Younger Dryas warm up and cooling, melted the glaciers?
I don't know. It seems like many aspects are up in the air. I definitely don't have a definitive decision on that, but it's just cool to explore the evidence and ask questions and look into. I learned multiple things just from that article alone that I didn't know before. So it's pretty cool. Now I want to look into it even deeper. It sparks that curiosity into the stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully it encourages more people to do the same.
Right. And that's, half the reason I enjoy doing these shows like this is someone out there can learn something. And if I can help people learn anything, it's a good day,
Yeah. Yeah, I
But,
never knew that there was anywhere on Earth where copper existed,
True.
the way it exists where you're at. I always thought it was only strictly in ore form that had been
right.
processed.
They find it oozing out of the bedrock in Lake Superior.
Wow.
It's literally like lines of it. Just
That's
big,
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty neat. Okay, we're gonna hit the chat quick a little bit here before we continue on. I saw a few new faces in there. We had Ronan the Crusader come in. How's it going, Ronan? Thanks for joining. This one made me laugh here, if I can find it. Karen asked, "What does Youper mean?" Because we have just another dirty Youper in here. So, and Youper, as Snyder says, Youper is a nickname for our folks who live in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, just like us Michiganders who live in the Lower Peninsula are called trolls because we live below the Mackinac Bridge. And you absolutely earned that name of trolls.
That's funny. I didn't know that part, the troll part.
Yeah, no, some people, they don't understand it because you call them trolls. Like, why you call me a troll? You say I'm ugly. Like, no, you live below the bridge, and they don't get it. But
That's
no,
funny.
I'm a Youper up here in the UP.
That's super funny.
Yeah. We got Barbie.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat tonight. Good to see
Yeah,
everybody.
no, thanks everyone for joining.
Hail Barbie, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for being here. Learn about Youpers and trolls. Yeah, see? You can learn something here. It means we did our job.
Always walking away with a new piece of information. That's what it's all about. So.
Yep. That's how every day of your life should be. Try to learn something new, even if it's one thing.
Absolutely.
All right. You ever heard of the Tunguska explosion? Airburst.
Yeah, I have.
Siberia. Okay.
I've heard of it, but the details, definitely want to know more about.
Yeah, so we're not going to watch that TikTok or whatever the hell it is, but maybe we will. We'll see.
I guarantee it's probably TikTok brain.
It most likely is.
Stuff. The article is going to be more informative. Yeah.
All right. June 30th, 1908. On June 30th, 1908, the largest asteroid impact in recorded history occurred on a warm summer morning in a remote part of Siberia, Russia. Now we observe Asteroid Day each year on June 30th on the anniversary of the known as the Tunguska explosion. The explosion happened over the sparsely populated northern forest land above the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in what is present-day Krasnoyarsk. Yep. Don't speak or pronounce that well. Apologies, folks. The blast released enough energy to kill reindeer and flatten an estimated 80 million trees over an area of
Wow.
830 square miles. Witnesses reported seeing a fireball, a bluish light nearly as bright as the sun, moving across the sky. A flash and a sound similar to artillery fire was said to follow the fireball. And according to American Physical Society, a powerful shockwave broke windows hundreds of miles away, knocking people off their feet.
Killing reindeer too. I didn't know that part. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense, but the fact that they actually have tangible evidence of that is crazy.
Yep, I think there was one story. There's a reindeer herder that lost all of them or something like that. He was nearby, and I
Oh,
think
that's
he was one of the
horrible.
guys that got blasted back.
I mean, dude, you're living in Siberia. You're struggling for resources as it is. It's a hard life, and you lose your entire herd of
Mhm.
reindeer. That's tragic.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean,
And like I said before the stream, thank God. I mean, it's too bad anyone got hurt, but thank God it hit,
right.
a remote area and not Moscow or St. Petersburg or a population center where possibly, a million people could have been killed.
Oh, probably even more. I mean, look, like you said, just remote. That is as remote as you can possibly
Yes.
get. And if it hit anywhere, hell, even north or south, east, west, you have to go a little ways west, but I'm sure there's a lot of little towns and cities through there. But yeah, if it hit somewhere like Moscow or anywhere in here, it would have obliterated the city. I mean, if it.
Yeah, I've heard the guys over on Forbidden Frontier, Gary, Adam
Mhm.
Krigler, Quarter Black, all them, talk about how there's either definitely or more than likely still uncontacted peoples in Siberia to this day, more than likely,
Oh, I believe it.
uncontacted, whether it be even tribes or just nomad type
Mhm.
people. Siberia is so sparsely
Huge.
populated. It's huge.
Yeah, yeah. That even like northern Canada or parts of Alaska, I
Yes,
wouldn't doubt if there's still stuff up there.
Gary has said too. Parts of Northern California, there's still unexplored wilderness up there, even
That's cool.
uh, that human eyes have never been on.
I believe
Just
it.
such difficult parts to get to.
Makes me wonder sometimes if there's anywhere in the UP here that's unexplored because I highly doubt it because between the logging and the mining back in the
Right.
1800s, they basically flattened the state.
Yeah, I
Flattened.
mean, if anything, it would have to be a really difficult terrain,
Mhm.
very hard to get to, isolated area for sure. But
I was metal detecting one day on a bluff. I mean, it's not too far from civilization, but I mean, there's nothing out there. There's no trails or anything. You just kind of walking through the
right,
woods. Top of the bluff, there's no big rock outcropping. There's no sign of structure or anything like that. I find a nail, one nail. That's it. Nothing
really,
else.
well,
It's one nail. Yeah. Oh well, we
what's
got
the
a little
history
luck there.
behind that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, how'd I get there? Maybe if there was a old hunting deer blind or something like that, you'd find more than just one nail. You'd think.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a hand cut nail or something modern factory
Nah,
produced?
it was some more modern, kind of a 4-inch spike. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah. Oh well. Weird though.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to Tunguska. Yet ultimately, decades passed before anyone could explain the event. A mysterious aspect of the Tunguska event was that, surprisingly, no one ever found a crater. But even without a crater, scientists still categorized it as an impact event. They now believe that the incoming object never struck Earth. Instead, it exploded in the atmosphere, causing what is known as an airburst. This type of atmospheric explosion was still enough to cause massive damage to the forests in the region.
So it essentially vaporized, and
Yep.
yeah,
And it's basically the amount of energy that vaporizes itself and from itself coming through the atmosphere is what it's kind of like an atomic bomb, basically.
pretty much. Yeah.
It explodes above.
Right. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's before the atomic bomb ever existed. So people at that
Oh yeah,
time, they're like, what the heck is going on? Because if something like that happened now, we would think, oh, we're under attack, we're at war.
Yeah.
Back then, it's like there's nothing man-made that can cause that type of damage back then.
Yeah. It's like the gods are angry.
I mean, they're like, what did we
Sacrifice.
do?
Ooh,
Yeah,
no, let's not.
yeah.
Let's see here. Mysterious aspect. Okay, airburst. Yep. Scientists determined the object was most likely a stony asteroid, approximately the size of a 25-story building. Jeez.
Wow.
Traveling at a speed of 33,500 miles per hour. It exploded 3 to 6 miles above the Earth's surface. That's cooking.
Yeah, that's not briefcase size piece of chunk.
No.
That's
You imagine if it
massive.
didn't Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, massive quantity at high speed is insane.
Mhm. No, I'm always wondering, like, if the impact would be so much worse if it actually hit without exploding, or if maybe because the airburst can cover a wider swath of an area.
I mean, maybe if it just hit, it would have absorbed some of the energy, and dispersed it into the ground
Mhm.
directly instead of, like you said, it would have a bigger surface area up above.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll say it here.
Maybe the
We'll find out.
shockwave, could have caused a lot of damage too, but
Right. Yeah. The shockwave, the ejecta, throwing parts of the Earth into the atmosphere, which in turn are going to come raining back down as well. So you have a
I'm
lot of
sure
different.
that's something that could be done in a simulation, like through on a
Ooh, that's
advanced
interesting.
physics, kind of like they do the car crash tests in
Hmm.
on a computer. Which would have been worse, an impact of something that size at that speed, or would it been better the way it went down? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into that, see if there is anything about it. We'll
Could be
see.
cool.
Yeah. Let's see. The Tunguska explosion was equal to about 4 megatons of TNT. That would make it 250 times more powerful than the atom bomb dropped in Hiroshima. Zoom out a little bit. You can see the flattened trees. I mean, you imagine walking up and there's just a bunch of trees laying over in every direction in a big ring, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. You would have thought something. You would have, being a simple person, that didn't have science fiction mindset like we
Hmm.
have now. Super weapons and stuff. Imagine seeing that come out of your house and boom. You know.
What the hell is going on here? We're under attack. That'd be the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallen trees from the 1908 Tunguska explosion. It wasn't until 1927 that Russian scientists were finally able to get to the scene. So let's see. Why did it take so long? For the better part of the 20th century, for scientists to understand what caused the Tunguska event. For one thing, it was almost 2 decades before the first scientists reached this remote region of Siberia. In 1927, Leonid Kulik led the first Soviet wow Soviet research expedition to investigate the Tunguska event. He made an initial trip to the region, interviewing local witnesses and exploring the area of fallen trees. But Kulik did not find any meteorite fragments or an impact crater. As a result of Kulik's initial investigation, some concocted wild theories to explain the Tunguska event. People claimed a stricken alien spacecraft caused the destruction. In addition, later, they pointed to a mini black hole or a particle of antimatter. The truth is just as interesting and perhaps more terrifying because it can happen again.
It's very true. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool picture. Yeah, so I think that's a
Yeah. That is
simulated airburst.
the particle of antimatter theory. That's wild.
A friend that's
Wow.
researching connection with meteorites found ancient Hopewell Indian sites in Ohio. Neat. Yeah, we'll get back to your comments there once we're done with this article because there's a lot to go over there. So that's a photo of an airburst, the U.S. Navy submarine launched Tomahawk cruise missile. So that's what that would look like. Below
Wow.
that. Oop, you're done.
Yep.
All right. In fact, okay. Oh, now we're getting into the Chelyabinsk. Hmm. In fact, the Tunguska event basically did happen again just on a smaller scale. The Chelyabinsk meteor, 105 years later, on February 15th, 2013, which I remember when that happened. I was watching all the videos of from car dash cams.
Yeah, the old school YouTube setup.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Man, it's hard to believe it was 15, what, 12 years ago?
Yeah, almost
Uh,
13 years ago.
yeah. Yeah, February. Hell of a jeez. Although smaller, airbursts occurred over the city of Chelyabinsk, Russia, 1,500 miles to the west of Tunguska. Oh, it does have that video. Okay. There's the vapor trail left by it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, yeah, Ronan makes a good point in the chat. The Russian dash cams have caught some just
Mm-hmm.
incredible footage of things over the
Oh,
years,
it's unbelievable.
because the insurance companies over there are super strict about having those. I don't think it's mandatory by law, but I'm pretty sure if you want insurance, you have to have a dash cam in Russia, I believe. Something
Yeah,
like
it's always a thought. It's like, maybe that's a good idea here too, but it's like, well, I also don't want proof of me doing something stupid.
that. Yeah, you can incriminate yourself too.
Yep.
And not that you do anything horrible on purpose, but even, a mistake and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we're only human. So I actually got Chelyabinsk up next on the list here. So we're gonna skip over this and get back to Tunguska, and we'll go back to Chelyabinsk. Let's see here. Provided vital clues to what happened during the the Tunguska event. As NASA explained, new evidence arrived to help solve the mystery. This highly documented fireball created an opportunity for researchers to apply modern computer modeling techniques to explain what was seen, heard, and felt. These models were used with the video observations of the fireball, maps of the damage on the ground to reconstruct the original size, motion, and speed of the Chelyabinsk object. The resulting interpretation is that Chelyabinsk is most likely a stony asteroid the size of a 5-story building. Man, that's big. That broke apart 15 miles above the ground. And this is 15 miles and it did that much of a shockwave. 550 kiloton explosion. The explosion shockwave blew out roughly 1 million windows and injured more than 1,000 people. Fortunately, the force of the explosion was not enough to knock down trees or structures. For current understanding of the asteroid population, an object like the Chelyabinsk meteor can impact the Earth every 10 to 100 years on average.
Oh, well, that's fun. Great.
Yeah, we'll see ya. We'll go over your comments in the chat, though, right? Snyder. Have a good night. So, yeah. Let's see. That's how big. So, this is Tunguska, and this is Chelyabinsk compared to Eiffel Tower and Empire State Building. That'd wipe out a city.
Insane.
Okay, and here's the last part on that we're going to go over here is studying the Tunguska event for future event explosion period for future events, which is talking about DART, where they move the asteroid. Okay, so yeah, so that's Tunguska. I kind of jumped into other stuff after that,
Wow.
but yeah.
Pretty
So,
crazy.
what are you thinking about? Just hitting a city like that.
I
That
don't
seems
want
crazy.
to experience that, is what I'm thinking.
No, I don't want to be on the tail end of an airburst by any chance.
No.
But I mean, I know Gary Nerdrotics always says you wouldn't know what happened. You wouldn't know it hit you because it'd be like an instant if it
Yeah.
came right at you.
It wouldn't even have
Just the
time for
vapor.
synapses to strike, but
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
not so much that it's being in that intermediate phase of not close enough but not far away enough, just in that buffer where it's like you get to enjoy all the suffering of it without,
right.
or property damage even.
That's true. You don't have to worry about anything anymore.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, since our Snyder dipped quick, we're gonna go over what he was just show his comments here. The hopeful Indian culture sought out exotic trade items like copper, Gulf Coast shells, knife river flint from the Dakotas, and obsidian from the Rockies. They had quite a trade network. The Hopewell people built the great I almost said Ontonagon, the great Octagon earthen mound. Research proved the sides of the mound tracked 18-year cycle of the moon. Cool. Thanks for that little tidbit of information on that.
Pretty cool.
We'll have to do a show on mountains one day. That might be a long one though.
Yeah, that's stuff that's everywhere. Europe, North
Mhm.
America, everywhere. Yeah.
We'd have to do different sections, break it up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about Chelyabinsk in the last one, which happened in 2013. So when a light streaked the sky at 9:20 in the morning, bright enough to outshine the sun, people ran to windows to see the trail it left in the sky. A few minutes later, a boom swept through the town, shattering windows, bringing down walls, and knocking people to the ground. The shocking sound was a meteor exploding overhead, but it wasn't just the noise. Fragments of rock were blasted across the landscape by the blast, falling down on the snow like rain. Videos from dash cams, CCTV cameras would appear in the news, channels around the world sending meteorite hunters and researchers flocking to the town. Among those arrived was a young PhD student just getting her journalistic career started. Me. Cool.
Oh, that's cool. So the writer of this article is
Mm-hmm.
having firsthand experience with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is BBC, not to be confused with bagging, boarding, and chatting.
Scared me for a second.
I know. Not that we always trust the BBC, but sometimes they got some good
No.
stuff. Let's see.
I heard they handled Doctor Who really well.
Oh, that was Disney too. It was a team event.
Yeah, I'm hearing great things from Doctor Who fans. Yeah.
Yeah. This ain't the Doctor Who show though. Well, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm sure that'll come up on Drink Up.
Oh yeah.
All right. The author says I'd been asked to present a documentary about the event with the rather dramatic title "Meteor Strike: Fireball from Space," which is how a film crew and I found ourselves knee deep in snow during the Russian winter 3 weeks following the explosion. However, it was the very snow freezing my toes that made Chelyabinsk the perfect place for a meteorite hunt. When the rocks fell onto the untouched snow, the heat they picked up from their journey through the atmosphere melted a clear, obvious hole. Find a hole, dig to the bottom, there's a good chance you'll find a meteorite. That's neat. About this spring, I went up to Michigan Tech in Houghton, Michigan, and they have a really awesome rock and mineral museum. And in the gift shop, got myself a little chunk of Chelyabinsk right there.
Now that's super cool.
Yeah. Now whether or not, I mean, it could just be a rock that they threw a picture on, slapped it in a case, but no, I thought that was pretty neat. So
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I saw that. I said I watched all the videos on that when it happened. I said I'm gonna get that. I want that.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's like one of the first internet sensation things that like global events that I remember
Mhm.
really going around, when the social media was picking up more.
Oh, for sure. No, that I mean, because I'd never really I had no idea about airbursts or anything like that at the time. I was a senior in high school, so seeing that it's like the talk of the world at the moment. But you saw it everywhere.
Yep.
You're just watching all the
Yep.
different dash cam videos, these big bright light explosions. I was like, yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. The area had already been picked up by the time we arrived, but our director did manage to find a 1 centimeter wide pebble. It was pure black, covered in a fusion crust created by the heat of entry melting the surface. There's something magical about holding a freshly found meteorite in your hand. This is a fragment left over from the birth of our solar system. It had been in space for billions of years until a few weeks ago. And by this point, there's even a pretty good idea of where it had been. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Big
that
old
famous
fireball.
footage. Yeah.
When a fireball is sighted in the sky, as was the case with Chelyabinsk, camera footage helps scientists to calculate where in space the rock might have originated. Though this evidence isn't usually enough on its own to know for sure, says Natalie Starkey, a geologist and author of Catching Stardust, Comets, Asteroids, and the Birth of the Solar System.
I tell you, the first thing I'm doing, I mean, it's bare minimum, but if I see
Mhm.
something like that, is covering my ears. That is for sure.
Yep.
Yes.
You'd be too much shock and awe just staring at the bright light to remember.
Yep.
No, that'd be absolutely terrifying.
Yes.
Let's see. Social media provided a wealth of camera footage, which planetary sleuths, both professional and amateur, had already set to work analyzing, measuring the motion from the meteor and the shadows it casts when comparing them to Google Maps. It appeared the meteor had hit the atmosphere at a shallow angle, traveling around 65,000 kilometers per hour. Any large pieces that survived would come down around nearby Lake Chibarco, where the 8-meter wide hole in the ice had already been found. So, tracking the path back suggested that the meteor had probably been in an elliptical orbit, taking it from beyond Mars to almost the orbit of Venus before striking our planet. Oh no! Sorry.
Did he?
Wait, hold on. You're blocking ABF.
Don't do that. I did say to do it, but I was
You
kidding.
did say to do
What?
it. No, he's no troll. No, we don't have to block
I mean,
ABF.
he. I
Maybe
mean, he
sometimes.
is. I mean, he
but
is.
no, we know.
What?
If he pushes
Yeah.
his luck, we'll block him. You know, speaking of which, our
A
moderator,
temporary timeout might be a good idea.
Jessica Lindstrom isn't in here. She'd definitely block him.
That might be an issue. Yeah, I think more than likely. Yeah.
All right. So that is Chelyabinsk. That's the author. There's a meteorite right there she found. That's cool.
I think she likes purple.
I'd say so. Man, there's a lot more to it than I thought.
Yeah, it's a
I
pretty
thought there was gonna
wordy
be a
article.
video on this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hit
Yeah.
hit the highlights.
Hitting the highlights. Yep, back to defending Earth from that. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up the dash cam footage here.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yep. I think there's a compilation I had. I hit the wrong button here. Hold on.
Even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like yesterday. What, over 12 and a half years ago that happened. And
It's hard to believe. I almost
that it
removed
is.
you. I apologize.
People wouldn't complain. You're not going to be missing.
Okay. Got a bunch of videos here. I don't know if there's some. Yeah.
Нихуя себе, это что такое? О, нихуя метеорит, блядь.
Внимание,
Ебануться. Нихуя себе.
Oh, I didn't show that.
Я сейчас подойду, подожди.
I thought I was going to show the impact. There it is.
Yeah. All you hear is glass breaking too. You know?
Let's see. This is a cool one. It's like they don't even notice it, and it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah. They're gonna hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bright.
Yeah, the best one is the office building. I think it might be more towards the end, inside of a bank or an office. Their reaction, because they definitely thought they were under attack.
Oh, absolutely, right there. Man. Oh, he was underneath it. Yeah.
That's pretty.
That's a
shocking.
Considerably small.
This one. Yep. Look at that. That's like a bomb went off outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it basically did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a natural one. Yeah.
Oop, forget to pause that. So because right now we are in meteor shower. We are in the southern Taurids right now. And that started November, peaks November 4th and 5th, but it goes through November 20th. Then we have the northern Taurids, the Leonids, Geminids, and the Ursids. So currently active is the southern Taurids. Zoom that in a little bit. Where'd we go? Southern Taurids are a complex shower made up of two main components, the annual component, which peaks on October 14th, and the fireball swarm component, which peaks on November 5th. So, I mean, what is that, today? Is it tomorrow?
Today's the 6th.
Today's the 6th? I don't even know what date it is anymore, to be honest.
Like, is it November yet? 2025?
Yeah, I need to pay attention to the date because I'm going to Egypt end of next week, so
You're not going to want to miss that. Yes.
I don't want to miss my
yes.
flight. No, that's one I don't want to miss. But
I'm hearing flights are pretty fun at the moment too, so
I
definitely
know
show up
I keep
early.
hearing that. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna probably. I'm flying out of Minneapolis. I'm gonna have to leave here. My flight's not till 1, but I'm gonna try to get there by 10 or 9 because I gotta park my truck and find a way to get.
Yeah.
Oh well. Let's see. Since 2025 is a swarm year, we will list November 5th as the peak. The southern torrids are rich in fireballs and are often responsible for increased number of fireball reports from September through November. And I wish I would have seen some. I always forget to go outside and look up and up, but lately it's been so kind of cloudy, cold and
Right.
cloudy. I didn't even want to
It's
go
been
up.
pretty overcast and just rough.
Mm-hmm.
Not very visible.
No, maybe I don't even know. It was pretty dreary out today. I highly doubt I'm gonna be able to see anything tonight. But
Yeah,
I'll
we
try
had
it.
hail. We had hail this morning. Yeah.
We had below freezing temperatures, so it's game over. Winter's
Same.
here. So this happened when I was in astronomy class in college. We watched YouTube for the whole day. Yeah, so that was the Chicxulub, or not Chicxulub, Chelyabinsk. Wow. Okay, too many
pretty
different
cool.
C's. No, that's awesome, especially during astronomy class. No YouTube back then. No. So I wasn't able to see any fireballs at night up here in the UP, but there was some in over Lake Superior in Duluth, Minnesota. I just keep the sound off. I don't know what the rights are. So this is up in Duluth, Minnesota, which is about right on the tip of Lake Superior, on the western tip. I'll show it in a minute here. Let's see. We got a few different pictures of the fireball. There's a cool one. We got the guy talking, don't care. So this next part is in Canal Park in Duluth, which is
Yeah, this is the
where.
clip I saw. Yeah.
Yep. So this is where the Lake Superior ore boats fill up with taconite at Duluth Superior, Wisconsin on the Wisconsin side, and then Duluth, Minnesota as the twin ports. But that's where the taconite pellets from the mines in northern Minnesota come down. They load them up on the ore boats and they ship them all the way across Lake Superior through the St. Lawrence Seaway, and then down into Lake Huron, and then to Detroit, or even further south to Indiana steel mills. So yeah,
Wow.
so that's a pretty cool video right there. And this just happened, I think, a week or two ago. Come on, too fast. I don't like that guy talking. So yeah, I mean, if I was looking at the sky at that time, I would have been able to see that from where I live, probably.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think I don't know if there's anybody that has found any meteorites or anything like that.
Not from what I've heard. No.
No, but I literally typed in on the Google search, Duluth meteor fireball, and I had to search for that video, which that's weird.
That should be more popular, I think.
You'd think so, especially being that bright and caught on camera a few times.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get to some updates on Interstellar Visitor 3I Atlas, because it may have changed its color for the third time.
It's what a title. It may have changed its color for the third time. It's like, wow. Now that could be, not to jump ahead, but that could be due to its ejecting gases and the way that light is refracted off of that. All sorts of stuff, possibly.
Right. And yeah, there's so many different things. And being that it's an interstellar object, which means it came from outside of our solar system, that's what the three is a third interstellar, so 3I, third interstellar object that we've been able to actually record and try to study as it's coming through. But yeah, and it being interstellar, maybe there's elements in it that we don't even know of. So
That's
it's
very
doing
true.
weird things, you know. I don't know. Anyways, recent observations of the interstellar object 3I Atlas show that it has developed a faint bluish hue, hinting at a potential color change. This is the third time experts have seen the comet's color shift since it was discovered. That's pretty cool. Okay, he's out of here.
That would be. I mean, it would have more of a flaming tail behind it if that was the case. But
Yeah. Very nice, Abe. Yeah, very nice. Let's see. Interstellar comet 3I Atlas may be developing a bluish hue after undergoing a rapid and unexpected brightening event while hidden behind the sun, new observations reveal. This is the third time that experts have noticed a potential change in the comet's color, but so far none of them have stuck. 3I Atlas, the third known interstellar object to visit our solar system, was spotted shooting towards the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour in early June. That's cooking. The comet
yeah,
is potentially the oldest of its kind ever seen and was likely ejected from its home star system somewhere in the Milky Way's frontier more than 7 billion years ago. Since then, it has sailed through the interstellar space before making its current rendezvous with our solar system. Let's see. Following a close approach to Mars at the start of October, the interstellar comet has spent the last few weeks on the opposite side of the sun to Earth, making it largely unobservable from our planet, although a handful of orbiting spacecraft could still see it, but now it is starting to become visible to Earth-based telescopes once again. Which I think it's beginning of December, first week in December, that you should be able to see it. I think with either the naked eye or even smaller telescopes. You don't need the
okay.
really high-end ones. Yeah.
Have to keep an eye out for that for sure.
Oh, for sure. Let's see here. The comet reached its closest point to the sun, known as the perihelion, on October 29th, when it was mostly hidden from us, reaching a minimum distance of 130 million miles from our home star, around 1.4 times further from the sun than Earth. The day before, a pair of researchers analyzing the data from spacecraft said it could still see 3I Atlas, revealed that the comet had brightened by several orders of magnitude after disappearing from view, which can't be fully explained by its proximity to the sun. That's interesting. In the same paper, the researchers also wrote that the comet appears to be distinctly bluer than the sun, which came as a surprise given that its color has not been seen in the comet until now. This color change is likely the result of a specific gas, such as carbon monoxide or ammonia, leaking from the comet, they argue. This study has not yet been peer-reviewed, and no other observations have thus far confirmed the blue coloration. Let's see, it looks kind of green there.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty cool looking, actually. I mean,
UAP incursions all over Belgium nuke sites. The same exact pattern as in Jersey over New Jersey military bases. That's weird. I haven't heard anything. Maybe I'll have to look into that once we get off of the 3I Atlas, because that's also a theory is that it's aliens, alien spacecraft. Even Harvard professors are saying it could be alien spacecraft.
they're coming for our nuclear energy. They need
They
to
don't give a
refuel their ships.
They don't give a damn about us.
Like that. Like if that was the case, interstellar, intelligent life.
Mhm.
Like they don't have energy sources that are far
Right.
beyond ours.
I mean, maybe it's just like the anthill. Just want us to go look at this puny little primates.
Yeah.
Intergalactic dew.
Lunar blast. Yeah.
Okay, yep. Break apart happened 3 times. That's cool. I haven't been able to hear a shooting star or airburst yet. Maybe someday.
That could have just been. I mean, your joints cracking too with
Yeah,
age.
when
But I mean,
he turned his neck to look up and
yeah.
everything started cracking and popping.
Yeah. I heard cracking when I looked up. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The researchers noted that blue coloration is in sharp contrast to the initial red hue given off by the comets. during early observations in July, which is likely the result of an abundance of dust coming off of its surface. Then in September, the comet briefly appeared to be turning green, likely due to the presence of dicarbon or cyanide within its coma. But these changes of coloration were only temporary, and it is currently unclear why that is. Only time and continued observations will tell if the comet's new coloring will stick. So yeah, given the stuff that's been going around with the 3i Atlas, Isaac, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on it at all, but what do
Dude,
you?
it's just all over
what do you
social
think?
media. People are talking about it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's weird.
even people who aren't into this stuff. And I'm a
Mhm.
normie too, and I'm seeing it on political accounts. Pop culture accounts. Everyone's talking about it. It's like so much speculation surrounding it. So, what's your, if you had to guess, um, what's your first impression of this?
My first impression is it is definitely weird because I was watching a video earlier. I think it was it was Tim Pool. He was talking about 3i Atlas, and he was reading an article, and they're saying that talking about the how the tail is going a wrong direction, or it's something's goofy with the tail, the comet tail, and then another was that it might have changed speed or direction, but I
Now
haven't
that's
seen anything about
suspicious.
that.
Yeah.
Just like a Muamua that was that last year, the year before, that really long, thin one, thin interstellar object that came through. As soon as it went past, I think past the sun or where we are, it like changed or sped up. So
Wow.
I don't know, goofy stuff. Or maybe
Yeah.
because they're interstellar objects, like I said, they have different minerals. We don't know.
I mean, when it got near our
It's
sun, did
weird.
it possibly like slingshot off of its gravitational pull or something? Possibly,
That's
or yeah.
that's another thing that I was thinking. Yeah, right there. Tinkela says it's showing similar acceleration. Muamua. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know. Because something like that, a comet or any space rock, isn't supposed to change speed like that. And like maybe it did slingshot around,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Okay, he said it was going too fast for a slingshot. Okay.
That was just my first impression. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was my thoughts too. Was that maybe it looped around and who knows? Let's see if there's anything on 3i Atlas speed change.
Hmm.
Yep, it sure did. At least according to the Daily Mail.
Okay.
This is a few days ago.
I'll take the Daily Mail with a grain of salt, but still.
Right.
Yes.
And that's just the first one that I saw. So I clicked on it because it said NASA says. So NASA detects bizarre boost in interstellar visitor speed as it moves toward Earth. All right. The interstellar object racing through our solar system has been caught unexpectedly picking up speed as it moves away from the sun closer toward Earth. NASA has confirmed a small extra kick moving the mysterious visitor dubbed the 3i Atlas off its predicted path, which can't be explained by the sun's gravity. The sun contains almost all the solar system's mass, meaning its weight pulls all the planets together in a predictable motion scientists can measure. But these new movements by 3i Atlas appear to defy our laws of gravity. Okay, right here saying that it. Yep, so the object, which many scientists claim is a comet, set a record for the fastest space rock entering the solar system ever detected by humans at more than 130,000 miles per hour. After reaching its closest point to the sun on October 29th, known as the perihelion, its speed is now soared to approximately 152,000 miles per hour.
That's trucking.
Yeah, so 22,000 miles per hour from one side of the sun to the other. Weird. Well, NASA believes the sun's gravity is mainly responsible for the speed boosts. Scientists are having a harder time figuring out what caused 3i Atlas to noticeably shift away from our home star. Okay. For an ordinary comet, the heat of the sun would be causing the icy cold space rock to melt and shoot out jets of gas trapped inside, potentially pushing the comet in a different direction. Okay, that's an interesting.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that. However, Harvard scientist Avi Loeb has revealed that astronomers are still awaiting evidence that 3I Atlas has released anywhere close enough gas to prove the object is really a comet. Yeah, I don't know. So, and I think Ari Loeb is thinking it's extraterrestrial rocket engine. So he thinks it's aliens. Yeah, no, that's interesting. 22,000 miles per hour speed boost.
Might be the flood coming to infect Earth. Gonna have to call up the chief.
Yeah.
I did recently see what was it? There's a lot of theories. People are saying, is it some sort of organic ship sort of thing? That's getting really, woo-woo with things a little bit,
Yeah.
It's theorizing. It's fascinating to think of, but in reality, it's probably a big rock hurtling through space. So
Most likely. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something that, I mean, I haven't been paying too much close attention to it, but when it shows up as something changed again, I'll start to look into it because it definitely
yeah, that's
interests
the
me. Like,
fascinating part. These abnormal changes, that's
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look into that later. We don't have the time right now to get into the Belgium nuclear
No, it's information
under-
for another time.
drone
For
stuff.
sure.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that after this or sometime over the weekend. So yeah, I didn't have anything else on my list here to talk about.
Well, we
with
covered
topics.
some pretty fascinating ones. I certainly learned a few things. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought we hit the pretty good high notes and some information that a lot of people, like even like you said yourself, maybe didn't know, and
Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic time, in my opinion.
People in chat were super informative too,
Yeah,
providing a lot of
we
cool
appreciate.
information.
Yep, our Snyder out there. Sometimes ABF, Tankla over here.
I
No,
don't recall him ever. I don't recall ABF ever giving anything positive to contribute. But whatever.
he
It is
talked
what
about he saw the shooting stars and heard him explode.
Okay, yeah.
Unless
yeah.
it was his
When he
neck
was in
cracking and his back.
when he was in
joint.
college in the 50s. But yet 20 people in chat tonight. Thank you for the
Yeah.
support. It's awesome.
No, absolutely.
Everyone
Thank you
showing up.
very much. No, this has been a fun stream.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And good subjects too, Jeff, pulling up those variety of articles.
Thank
Brought
you.
back memories of almost 13 years ago. Like, what the heck?
I was
Where'd
gonna
time
say,
go?
hold on. What memories you have 13 years ago, buddy?
No, I know, no, but the YouTube craze of everyone
Oh.
like, look at this, it's like, wow.
Epic rap battles of history and stuff like that.
Oh, dude. I need to go
Yep.
back and watch those, yeah.
I don't know if I have the mental capacity or the time to right now.
I don't know if they're gonna hold up. It might be teenage childhood memories.
True.
Who knows? We shall see, though.
Oh well. But yeah, that wraps up our Meteors, Comets, and Asteroids show. Wanna start closing out here. Isaac, thank you for
Jeff.
joining me once again, my co-host of this show. And as long as you can get in here every time, you will be the main co-host. So I thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah. What do you have coming up, and where can people find you?
Well, I am going to be streaming this Monday, new time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on my channel. We're adding an extra half hour to the Golden Age podcast.
There you go.
Going to be having a lot of fun people on. We talk politics and culture war stuff, but we try to have fun too. Not trying to shove any ideology down anyone's throat, just having fun and breaking things down. And then, of course, you'll see me here. And I appreciate you, Jeff, for having me on. I am a normie with a lot of this stuff, but I like to observe and try to at least have an intellectually honest, conversation on a lot of stuff. Not claiming to be an expert, just inquisitive.
No, just people with thoughts and theories and interests. And sometimes when I'm making my videos, they say, "No, I'm not an expert." Heavy means I'm not a professional.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like you said, it is nice taking a break from the all the culture stuff, all the
Big time, yeah.
politics, and just the sad, kind of dopey news of the week, the month, whatever.
Yeah,
just
it
talk
can get
about-
old. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. No, talk about something that is interesting that can grasp the whole audience, the different ideas and aspects of it. So
it grasps your imagination too, because it
exactly.
causes theorizing, and it's pretty fun,
Yeah.
So,
Makes you think.
yeah.
So as for me, tomorrow we'll be doing the weekend pregame with Andy and Willie at Drink Up, Drink UP. I will share that in because I don't have any mods. I got to do this myself. But basically, news, movies, TV shows, games, stuff like that. A little bit of feel good coming into your weekend. It's kind of what we try to do. So 7:30 tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Time. You want to go follow that there. Go give us a follow. And for myself as well, I am working on a video that I will hopefully have out on Monday. It's not an ancient history video, but it is a Michigan historical video for November 10th. That's the hint I'll give you. But it is a very, very important day for Michigan's Upper Peninsula and the Upper Midwest here. Let's just say that. So keep an eye out for that.
Very cool.
Yeah. I want to thank not only Isaac, but also everyone in the chat that joined us tonight. Everyone
Mike.
all the lurkers, everyone's going to watch this hopefully after it's VOD. Thank you very much. Also, don't like having to say it or even saying this, but it does help. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you like. We'll be doing this every 2 weeks for now until we can hopefully find a little more time on my end to do it consistently. So I think during
Definitely.
this winter, we're going to definitely start doing a little more often. Frequently, it was the work week slowdown. But
Yeah, I saw multiple people sharing it out on X and reposting
Okay.
and stuff, and
awesome.
it's really
Thank you.
cool. Appreciate
No,
people's
thank you all.
support.
No, it means a lot. Means a lot for sure. Debbie, you have a great evening as well. Idaho Mike, thanks for hopping in again. Good morning to you. You have a great day. And ABF, the man, the myth, the finger. Great show, guys. I hope we didn't get probed. We hope we don't get probed by aliens. Yep, nope.
Hope not.
That would not be too fun.
Dorbu better keep his hands to himself. That's all I gotta say.
I think he keeps his hands a quarter Black Garrett.
You know what? Keep it over there, away from me. It's all right.
Yeah, you can do your probing down in Texas. That's fine for me.
Have fun.
So, other than that, I'd like to thank everyone once again. You all have a wonderful weekend coming up to Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.
See you.
It didn't